Hello and welcome to another episode of Sports with Monga. It's the week is not it's not the Spurs week. Apparently, they've lost back-to-back games. This is the first time, like since January this year. This is the first time that Spurs has lost a back-to-back game. It's Spurs versus Newcastle. Spurs losing to Newcastle after a very heavy, or not a heavy, but after losing 2-0 to Manchester United in the midweek game. But kudos to how Eddie Howe kind of said the game, just to kind of do a match react, just to kind of give you a recap as well. I think Lorris was slow. Maybe he was not in the, maybe he was feeling the pressure. Maybe Wilson was too good for him to kind of keep the pressure on. But then the first goal was clearly Hugo Lloris, the keeper for Spurs, his mistake in a way, because he came out of the line and he just kind of bumped into Wilson, and Wilson just took time and shrugged him off, and then scored a beautiful overhead chip from outside the box. And score the first goal for Newcastle. I don't think it was a foul, because I feel that Lloris could have just kicked it or headed it like outside or something, but he just kind of laid it in front of him, and then of course there's a player, he can't like change his direction because he has momentum as well, and he's just holding you off. And you're kind of in a disadvantage already. You've lost the battle in that sense. So it was pretty I would say frustrating on that end for Antonio Conte as well, to kind of see that kind of being the first goal. However, the fact that it didn't kind of seem till the first half ended actually that Spurs was going to level, because it was completely like the whole game, or at least most of the game, by Newcastle. They were kind of on it from the start, and had pretty nice momentum. Of course, the first goal scored by Wilson, and the 31st minute, and the second goal. What a goal that was, Almiron. Almiron is on a roll right now. He cuts Lenglet like as if he's not even there. He has time to turn on his left foot and then put it past Lorris again, who I think should have done better, because it goes under, like while he's diving, and he's kind of under the body, and then the ball goes under him from the near post in a way. But yeah, so it was 2-0. First off, but then that's kind of what I was kind of expecting, a reaction from Spurs, and reaction we did get. Of course, the rain started kind of more heavily as well, the torrential rain that during the game, it was kind of really heavy, but then Spurs were able to pull one back. Who else? Harry Kane. He just can't stop scoring. It's either penalties or he's just there. I don't know how he's like, that was just different. That was a different feeling altogether. He scores from the corner itself, not from the ball coming from the corner, and Trippier kind of looking at him more than the ball. There was still a VAR check on, like, did Sanchez touch it, and he was off. But it's too hard to tell. Like, I don't know, maybe they don't have magnifiers on a VAR. That's pretty strange. But the camera angle was pretty weird. Like, it was just kind of straight. You could see the ball kind of moving very closely to his right shoulder, but it didn't drop or didn't touch him. I don't know. I can't tell, because it was like you could feel that there was a shade. But I don't know, did that shade touch him or not? Frustration all around for Conte, losing at home to Newcastle. But then he tried, like Conte did try after the 1-0, after the goal that Spurs scored. He did try to get some momentum up. He got Perisic on for Sessignon, and then more changes kind of skipped to Moura were made. Also, the fact that then he got Sanchez out, Doherty in, and still pushing for like some change in momentum, and also Lenglet going out, and Ben Davies kind of coming in. But yeah, it's been a little lackluster after the really good highs that they've had, yeah, it almost felt like they've dropped the ball in some sense. But then the amazing thing here is the fact that it's the first time that Newcastle is in the top 4 now. Newcastle sits in the 4th spot with 12 games played, 21 points, and Spurs play 12 games played with 23 points. Newcastle, of course, Chelsea and United have a game in hand for them, but then they're like Chelsea and Newcastle are level on points, but Newcastle is ahead on goal difference. But it's good. Like, it's good to see Eddie Howe's team. Like, they had momentum and the togetherness. Like, I've never seen, like, the way they were playing today. It almost felt like they believed in the cause for the first time, and they were like, "This, we are up for it. Here we are. Look at us now." Almiron has just been next level. He's just kind of finishing everything he's getting, or he's so confident that he can finish. Wilson is like, he bullies defenders to an extent where they almost don't want to kind of touch him. And he's so physical in that. And Joelinton, he was wow. Like, he's running, he's so free-flowing. Like, he almost reminds of like Saint-Maximin, but doesn't make me miss him in a way, because Maximin is very kind of attacking, but Joelinton is like extremely kind of he's backtracking as well. He's playing, he was in central as well with Bruno Guimaraes and Villa kind of going up, and they were changing positions there. Bruno Guimaraes has been wow, he's been the best signing, I think, for Newcastle, along with, in my mind, Trippier and Nick Pope. Like, these three have kind of they've kind of pushed the bar for Newcastle and Eddie Howe to actually think about staying, and kind of actually not just staying, but then challenging for the top four. Joe Willock, Sean Longstaff, and Bruno Guimaraes in the midfield, and Dan Burn, Fabian Shaw, and Steve Botman, Kieran Trippier, Kieran Trippier playing against his old team, Spurs. I don't know how that goes. I don't think he was emotional about it. Yeah, because he went to Atletico before he joined Newcastle. The Nick Pope was good. He didn't have too many saves to make, actually, but then that just tells you the level of confidence that Spurs maybe had in the game. They're still missing some players. They still don't have Kulusevski for Spurs, but then that's not like it's just one player in my mind. I don't know why it's not ticking. It's almost like maybe the games, maybe the number of games that have played, they're not able to kind of come back and have full momentum or full rest in any sense. But then Heung-min had good chances, Kane had some chances, but then they could not kind of close this up. Just finally rounding off the next fixtures for both of them. Tottenham now play Bournemouth on the 29th, the week after the next week, and the week after next they play Liverpool, and the last game will be against Leeds before the World Cup break starts. But so that the next game could be kind of a momentum, or kind of a boost, to give some boost to them on their confidence. Could be a game to kind of get some good player or goals just to get some confidence in. On the other hand, for Newcastle, they play Aston Villa, who just kind of had a thumping game against Leeds today, I guess, right? They were like, wow. Yeah, they had a really nice game, Aston Villa, today, winning. Yeah, not Leeds, sorry. Brentford. They scored 4. They scored 4 against Brentford, but they play Newcastle next, and Newcastle plays Newcastle. After that, plays Southampton away and Chelsea home before the break. I don't see so the Newcastle Chelsea game could define who kind of stays at top 4. I think that's the game which kind of decides in a way. Could be a draw as well, but then that's where it decides who stays top 4 for now, at least before the World Cup break starts. And from the 12th of November, that's kind of the last game week. And the first the 26th, the Boxing Day after the World Cup. That's when the game starts. But yeah. Good game of football. Amazing to watch. Newcastle kind of do what they do. They just get results. They just get results as a team. They kind of they put in the effort, they put in the hard miles, and they get stuff done. So kudos to Eddie Howe and his management, of course. Like the since January, how he's been able to since this January, where the takeover from the new investors, and also then kind of rebuilding to stay first in the Premier League, and now to kind of be in top four within that year. That it's a journey, and full credit to Eddie Howe and his management, and the sports supporters of Newcastle United. Spurs need to do some intervention. Bournemouth next could be a good game to kind of get some confidence back. But do let me know what you think. Do you think the VARs or like how Lorris was kind of blocked was actually? Do you feel that was a foul, or and also the goal that Kane scored was? Do you feel that was an offside? And how do you kind of improve this? I'm interested to think about like these things, and I'll receive these on your comments. Do like the video, do share and subscribe. And looking forward in the next one. Have a nice one. Bye.